Hari Hari bolite na Yane bhave nira Gauranga bolite habe Pulaka sharira Hari Hari bolite na Yane bhave nira और कभे निताय चांदेर करुणा হইবে संसार बासना मोरा कभे तुच्छ হবে আর কভে নিতাই চাঁদের করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা মোরা কবে তুচ্ছ হবে विषयाचार्या कभे शुद्ध হবে माना कभे हेरिबो श्री वृंदावना विषयाचार्या कभे शुद्ध হবে माना कभे हेरिब श्री वृंदावना रूपा राहुना जापदे হইবে আকুতি কাবে হামা ভুঞ্জা বসে যুগলা প্রীতি रूपा राहुनादापदे হইবে আকুতি কাবে হামা ভুঞ্জা বসে যুগলা প্রীতি रूपा राहुनादापदे राहु मोरा आशा प्रार्थना करो ये सदा नारता मदासा रूपा राहुनादापदे राहु मोरा आशा प्रार्थना करो ये सदा नारोत्तमदासा हरि बोलिते ना ज्ञान भावे रा Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। हरिदास ठाकुर त्रयोभा महोत्सव की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। सर्वशास्त्राब्धि पीयूषा सर्ववेदैक सत्फला सर्वसिद्धांत रत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैक दृक्पदा सर्वभागवत प्राणा श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिद्वंतोदिदादित्य श्रीकृष्णा परिवर्तिता परमानंद पाठाय प्रेम वर्षक्षरायते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तुते मदेकबन्धो मत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरो मन्महादन मन्निस्तारक मद्भाग्य मदानन्द नमोऽस्तुते असाधुस्साधु दादायिन्नति नीचोतचाकर आनमुञ्चकदा शृण्वां प्रेम्णा हृत्कण्ठयोस्फुराः ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतर्थे स्वभिज्ञस्वराट्तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र सर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तगुहं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मप्रोजितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवम् अत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः साद्यो हृद्यावरुत्यात्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषविस्तच्छनात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखात् अमृतसंयुतं पिबद भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे योऽन्तः प्रविश्य वाचमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्तकिलशक्तिधरस्वदां न अन्यां हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं पान्त्वस्मान् पुरुहूतवैरिबलवन्मातङ्गमाद्यद्घटा कुम्भोच्चात्रिविपाटनातिकपटुप्रत्येकवज्रायिताः श्रीमत्कण्ठीरवास्य प्रतसुनकर धारिदारातिदूरप्रध्वस्तत्वान्तशान्तप्रवृतमनसा भाविता भूरि भागैः Hare Krishna. So today being a very important day or a very auspicious day for our sampradaya, especially Gaudiya Sampradaya, the disappearance day of Srila Haridas Thakura. So how can be a disappearance day an auspicious thing? Because he has shown a value during this disappearance day, how one should leave this world. So in this way he has taught a lesson. That's why he is called Acharya. Even while leaving this body, he showed an example why one should leave this body or when one should leave this body. So today we'll read a shloka from 3rd canto, chapter 26, verse number 32. And from this, we will discuss about the power of sound, because ultimately we all chant Hare Krishna mantra, and mantra is vibration. So vibration is a sound. So what Vedas they speak about sound, and what modern science they speak about sound, and how it affects both the material and spiritual life. And also we will discuss about how Bhagavatam is glorifying those sound vibration or Nama Sankirtana. And we will see a few examples and few prayers from different devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam is full of description about the names of the Lord. So we will see few examples from that, and we'll see at last the glorious pastime of Haridas Thakura. One pastime we'll take, and we'll see the pastime of Haridas Thakura. So this shloka has very good purport. So I have chosen this shloka. Tasmacha vikurvanat bhagavat virya choditat shabdhamatram abhut tasman nabhashrotam dusabdhagam. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. Translation: when egoism in ignorance is agitated by sex energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the subtle element sound is manifested, and from sound come the ethereal sky and the sense of hearing purport. It appears from this verse that all the objects of our sense gratification are the products of egoism and ignorance. Please listen the purport very carefully, because Prabhupada is speaking very philosophical things here. You may miss that. It is understood from this word that by agitation of the element of egoism and ignorance, the first thing produced was sound, which is a subtle form of the ether. It is stated also in the Vedanta Sutra that sound is the origin of all objects of material possession, and that by sound one can also dissolve this material existence. Anavritti Shabdat means liberation by sound. The entire material manifestation began from sound, and the sound can also end material entanglement if it has a particular potency. The particular sound capable of doing this is transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna. Our entanglement in material affairs has begun from material sound. Now we must purify that sound in spiritual understanding. There is sound in the spiritual world also. If we approach that sound, then our spiritual life begins, and the other requirements for spiritual advancements can be supplied. We have understood very clearly that sound is the beginning of the creation of all material objects for our sense gratification. Similarly, if sound is purified, our spiritual necessities also are produced from sound. Here it is said that from sound the ether become manifested, and that the air become manifested from the ether. How the ethereal sky comes from the sound, how the air comes from the sky, and how fire comes from the air will be explained later on. Sound is the cause of the sky, and the sky is the cause of the shrotram, the ear. The ear is the first sense for receiving knowledge. One must give oral reception to any knowledge one wants to receive, either material or spiritual. Therefore, shrotram is very important. The Vedic knowledge is called Shruti. Knowledge has to be received by hearing. By hearing only we can access to either spiritual or material enjoyment. In the material world, we manufacture many things for our material comfort. Simply by hearing, they are already there. But just by hearing, one can transform them. If one want to build a very high skyscraper, this does not mean that we have to create it. The materials for the skyscraper, wood, metal, earth, etc. are already there. But we make our intimate relationship with those already created material elements by hearing how to utilize them. Modern economic advancement for creation is also a product of hearing. And similarly, one can create a favorable field of spiritual activities by hearing from the right source. Arjuna was a gross materialist in the bodily conception of life, and he was suffering from the bodily concept very acutely. But simply by hearing, Arjuna became a spiritualized, Krishna conscious person. Hearing is very important, and that hearing is produced by the sky. By hearing only we can make proper use of that which has already exists. The principles of hearing to properly utilize preconceived materials is applicable to spiritual paraphernalia as well. We must hear from the proper spiritual source. So for your information, now in 2 minutes downstairs they are supplying Maha garland, Maha ornaments from Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra. If anybody wants, you can go and collect it. Okay, you're all very renounced. But usually, when there is an announcement, then immediately everyone jumps to go and get it. Even though the things are happening already, but simply we are unaware of it. Once if you come to know about something is happening, then immediately we get the desire. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaste supajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamaut grodho apijayate. So this is how the psychology goes. So here Prabhupada has given a very beautiful purport. If you can go through this purport again, then you will understand how both material and spiritual life is based on the sound vibration. So we will speak something about the sound vibration, and then we will go through the real sound vibration, that is transcendental sound vibration. So the sound vibration is related to our mind, and mind usually gets disturbed by 4 things. That is by our janma, by our mantra, what we chant, and by our dhyana, and also by our samskara. So these 4 things affects our mind. So this mind has to be controlled. Manaha karanam bandha mokshayoho, as Upanishad says, mind is the central place for our liberation and for our bondage also. This is what Vasudeva also speaks in the 10th canto. If you see, mind is the main thing. Yata trina jalau kaivam dehi karma gatim gataha. He says, as you create a body in your dream, so you create a body in your dream, this dream body, in this dream body you can hear, you can speak, you can smell, you can taste, you can touch. Everything is happening in the dream body. So it's just like this our gross body. So who is creating this dream body? Our mind, based on our samskaras. So this is what Vasudeva is saying. So the dream body is created according to the desires in our mind. So why this dream body is created? Because some karmas we have to enjoy alone. You cannot share it with anyone. So to enjoy your karma that you are supposed to enjoy it or suffer it alone, you have this dream body. And there are some collective karmas which you have to enjoy or suffer with other people. So you have this gross body. So these both bodies are created by our mind. So if we can purify our mind from our karma, that is our samskaras, then we can get out of this world. So that is the definition of karma. Krishna speaks about karma in Bhagavad Gita. He gives two good definitions. In the 3rd chapter, he gives a definition: karma brahmodbhavam viddhi brahmakshara samudbhavam tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yagye pradishritam. He says karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. That is the karma. Karma means the instructions which are prescribed in the Vedas. That is one kind of karma. And that is another karma which he gives another definition in the 8th chapter. Anybody knows? In the 8th chapter, Krishna gives a definition when adhyatmika, adhibhautika, adhidaivika, karma and prayana kale pichamam. So he asks all these questions in 7th chapter, and 8th chapter Krishna answers all these questions. So anyone remembers? Karma visarga sangita. Remember? Adibodham cha kim proktam, adidaivam kim uchate. So when all these questions are asked, then I don't remember the first line, but he says something like this: karma visarga sangita. The karma means visarga sangita, that which helps you to get the next birth is called karma. So whatever activity is that which helps you to get your next life, it's called karma. So how do you get your next life? Vasudeva says also the same thing. Based on your present activities, you get your next birth. So it is not that you give up this body and then you search for new body. The Atma doesn't search for new body. In this body itself, it is preparing for its next life. It is its next birth. Like when you want to vacate your room and go to your new house, how do you do that? You don't bring all the stuff in the road and then search for the house. No. So first of all, you will search a new house, rent house. So you will clean it. You will make sure everything is ready. You lock it. And then you shift everything from here to there. Like Krishna also says, Vasam Jirnani Yata Vihaya, the change of dress. So change of dress means it's not that one goes, with bare body and goes for looking for the shirt. He has already old cloth and now he's looking for the new shirt. So based on his desire, he chooses a new shirt, and based on his budget also, he chooses a new shirt. In a similar way, in this life itself, we are preparing for our next body. So that's what he says, Visarga karma sangitaha. Karma means that which helps you to get a new body. So when the karma, when your karma is purified, or when your samskara, when your mind is purified, then you get a proper body, then you get a spiritual body. So why I'm saying all this thing, everything is depend on our mind. Manaha karanam bhanda mokshayoho. That's why even if you see Patanjali Rishi, he gives a Yoga Sutra, Bhashya, he gives a Yoga Sutra. So in that, the first Yoga Sutra, the first one, what it is? Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yogaha. He gives a very beautiful definition for yoga. What is yoga? Yoga means Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yogaha. Chitta means your mind or consciousness, we can say. So this chitta has so many thought process. Every day we have so many thoughts. These thoughts are, once Yudhishthira was asked by Yaksha, what is greater than the blades of grass in this material world? Then he says, thoughts of mind. Mind has so many thoughts, unlimited thoughts. In one minute we can have millions of thoughts. So this thought process has to be channelized. Now what happened? Our thought process is spread around everywhere. That's what Kunti Maharani says. my consciousness is spread around everywhere. Now that consciousness has to be channelized towards you like a Ganga Pravaha. For example, when the river is flowing, if river has only one channel, it will go to the sea, it will reach the sea. But when the river has so many channels, so many branches, what happens? It doesn't reach the goal. Similarly, when our thought process has channelized, Vyavasatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahushakahi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayana. When our thought process is single mind, single pointed, then we can reach the Lord. But now what happens? Our thought process is spread over. In the early morning itself, as soon as you wake up, immediately you start thinking, at least not us, but outside people, they immediately start thinking what dress I should wear, what I should eat, where I should go, how I should do this. So immediately our mind gets distracted. So this destructive mind has to be channelized, has to be focused. That is called yoga. So ultimately everything depends on the clearing of mind. So this Shabda is also dealing with mind, as I said. So here we will just discuss about the mantra part of the mind, because again we have Janma, we have Karma, we have Samskara, as I said, but we are not going to deal all this thing. We will just deal about only mantra part. So mantra means Manaha Trayati iti mantra, that which protects your mind again. So yogis, they try to concentrate their mind by means of mantra. Dhyana vastita tadgatena manasa pashyantiyam yoginaha. So by means of dhyana, they control their mind, they control their thought process. So Ramanujacharya says this control of mind comes in the dharana stage. So dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So in the dharana stage, when you have this control of mind, you have this single pointed thought process. So he says, Taila dharavat avichinna smritisara bhakti chantanu rupam. This thought process is just like a flow of oil. When you open the tap of water, the water splashes around. At least not now, because now we have very sophisticated, toilet wares, parryware, this and that. So you have water also flowing very nicely. But usually, when you pour water, the water splashes around. But when you pour the oil, it doesn't go anywhere. The oil flows, in the similar way. The thought process has to be channelized. That is called dharana. So, yes, this mantra helps us to protect our mind from this unwanted thought process. So, all our Vedic culture was depend on the Shabda. That's why there was so much chanting of Shabda, so much chanting of mantra in the early stage itself. If you see in Gurukula, what they do, they always chant mantras. They learn mantras and they chant mantras for 12 years. They just keep on chanting the mantras, and it purifies their mind. And then they learn the philosophy. So this is how they were doing. But if you see in other culture, apart from our Bharata Varsha, say for example Greek culture, they were mostly into geometry, into the form. Like now we have forms everywhere. Now if you want to say something, you want to convey something, immediately we need picture, immediately we need videos, we need PPTs, we need short videos, we need reels, everything. But previously it was not the case. People, they were hearing and they were understanding. So that is the case in our Vedic culture. But Greek culture brought this geometry, that is the form. So our culture was mostly depend on the waves. Waves are again nothing but the Shabda. So this is how the Lord created this material also. Just now we saw the shloka, how Lord has created this material by means of Shabda. This is accepted in the other religion also. Like in Old Testament it said, Lord said, let there be a fire and fire appear. Let there be air and air appear. In the similar way, Lord, in our Vedic literature also it is said, Lord has called something by name and it appeared. So here every creation is happening by means of sound vibration. So even NASA recently has released an article which says that Sanskrit or Vedic mantras, Vedic mantras are mostly in Sanskrit. So they say Sanskrit is the scientific, very natural language whose words are connected with the object. Usually here in other languages, the words doesn't relate to the object. But if you see Sanskrit, the words related to the object also. The words are nothing but objects. If you say a word, then immediately you can remember. You can what do you say? You can picturize the form also. So that's why NASA has said in the fourth and fifth generation, when computer will be designed, so they will use Sanskrit as a language, because that is very highly developed language, highly developed a tool uh, in those days also. So sound has that much effect. So when somebody curses or when somebody blesses, it is just sound, and based on the purity of the sound, then it happens. So that's why the sound has to be used in a proper way. Sound can destroy a person completely, sound can revive a person completely, correct? You can just say a few words and this person will get hurt and he will commit even suicide. You can speak certain words, and this can help a person who is in the verge of suicide, and you can bring him back, correct? So sound has that much effect, sound has that much power, so it has to be used properly. That's why in yogic process, they used to do dhyana, and dhyana is particularly concentrating on different chakras. So chakras means ultimately it has a very beautiful form. It has many petals, and each petal will have a Sanskrit alphabet. So they chant this particular alphabet to induce a chakra. So if chakras are activated, then we will have this purification inside and outside. So it is not recommended for us. Ultimately, why I'm saying all this thing, just to say this are not necessary, because that's how Krishna says. He keep on speaking about karma yoga, dhyana yoga, ashtanga yoga. He will say everything, and then he says yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmanah shraddhavan bhajate yomam samay uttatamo matah. He will say this is all not necessary, Arjuna. Why Krishna has to take all the way through this to understand? Because if you give directly the highest thing, we will miss it. So you have to go from the lowest thing. Then if you give the highest thing, then we'll appreciate it. So in the similar way, the glories of sound vibration is very much presented in the Vedic literature also. So sound has 4 stages. Vedic, according to Vedic philosophy, every sound has 4 stages. It's called Chatvari Vak. So what are the 4 stages? One is Vaikari Vak. Vaikari Vak means this gross sound vibration. The second one is called Madhyama Vak. Madhyama Vak means sound of the thoughts. You don't have to say something, but in the inside you, there is always some sound is happening. Something is talking to you inside, correct? So that is called the thought process. So sound of the thought, your sound of the process. So luckily we are not able to hear the thoughts of others, correct? At least we can hear thoughts of ours also. If you start hearing the thoughts of others, then we don't want to look at them, correct? So we have that kind of nasty thoughts are going inside our brain. Once one Prabhupada disciple, he came and he told to Prabhupada, in my mind so many useless thoughts are coming. I feel like I should beat you, I should bang you, I should pinch you. I don't know what I should do. Prabhupada said, just chant Hare Krishna. What can you do? So this how our mind is so crazy all the time, thinking so many nonsense things. Even we will be sitting in front of Radha Vrindavan Chandra, but our mind will be thinking so many nonsense thing. So this is called Madhyama Vak. And there is another thing called Pashyanti Vak. Pashyanti Vak means little higher. That it is in the buddhi, it is in the form of intelligence, it is the seed of desire. So when you have this desire, then the thought process comes. When first of all the seed comes, the desire comes, and from the desire, so many thought process comes. Dhyayato vashayan pumsaha. First of all you see, then you develop a desire. Yes, I should need this, I want to get this. Then so many thought process starts working. Why you want this? How it is very beneficial for your Krishna conscious life. How can you be a better sadhaka with all this thing? If this doesn't happen, then you cannot become a pure devotee. So like this, mind will give you so many reasons that you should have this. So all this process happens with the seed of the desire of your thought. So this is called Pashyanti Vak. Pashyanti Vak. And fourth one is called Paravak. Paravak means that is completely transcendental. So in this creation, everything, like we have said from the beginning, the creation is happening from means of sound. So even if you want to create something, first of all you should have an idea. This idea, from idea, all the creation happens. So this idea, the word idea, where it is coming from? It is coming from the Greek word. It's called idios. Idios means again the icha, or the desire to create something. So this is called icha shakti. So first of all, you develop a desire, and then from this desire, all kinds of things are manufactured. This is how all the advertisement world is working. Correct? So you create a thing, and then after creation, what you do? You keep a name for it. iPad, I know what, iPod, iPad, then Apple, then so many things. If there is no name, how will you sell that? This, that you cannot sell. So you create something, you keep a name, and you start advertising it. Then what happens? Then people get to hear about it. Then they start to relate to it. Then they start to develop a taste for it. Then they develop a strong attachment. Then they want to buy it. So in the similar way, in this material world, that when you develop this desire, then everything starts. So when you want to get something, then because of our hearing only, everything starts. Like Prahlad Maharaj says, what is the happiness in this material world? He says, Kutra ashicha shruti shukam ragatrishna rupaha. He says, where is the happiness in this material? Kutra ashihi shruti shukaha. We have heard about happiness. Anybody seen happiness? No. We have heard about happiness. You buy this, you will be happy. Go here, you will be happy. I was going in this Pune, and in the road you can see big billboards. It's the person is running with his laptop. Where he's running? To book a new apartment. It is too bad to miss this. I don't know. So this what? Just advertising. Buy this, you will be happy. Just close up toothpaste. You brush and you come and say, haha, so many girls will fall upon you. Nothing happens, Even more worst is MRF tire. A person is driving in MRF tire, and he puts a brake, and then 4 girls comes inside. What it has to do with tire? I don't understand. So people all the time, they make a advertisement, correct? So they just say, buy this, you will be happy. Go here, you will be happy. Do like this, you will be happy. Kutra ashisha shruti shuka amrikatushna rupaha. People are running from one place to another place. Just like you see a mirage water, you just run. There is water. You go there and you find out there is no water. Then you see the other place. Do you see water another place? Do you see mirage again? Do you stop? No. Again the mriga runs away. It goes there. Again it sees there is no water. Will it stop? No. It will see other place. Again it goes in this way. It just runs until it dies. Similar in this material, we all run in this material world until we die. Again we take birth. Again we start running. Just like Dhritarashtra Maharaja. Dhritarashtra Maharaja, he has so much attachment for Duryodhana. Has he ever seen Duryodhana? Dhritarashtra ever seen Duryodhana? How he looks like. At least when you see something, you will develop some attachment, correct? But he has never seen Duryodhana. But the name itself, Duryodhana, that name itself brought so much attachment for him. So we are all Dhritarashtras here. Just by hearing, correct, we get so much attachment. So that's why Bhagavad Gita is meant for us. Dhritarashtra vacha. So Dhritarashtra means we are all Dhritarashtras. So, yes. So everything is just starting from hearing, from this sound vibration. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says all our problems starts with these 3 kinds of main attachment. He says the desire to enjoy, the attachment for things in the mental level, and the third thing is attachment to the mental existence itself. So first thing is the desire to enjoy. That's the first thing. And second thing is that the attachment in the mental level to the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So the attachment for this thing is the second cause of all our problems. Like somebody is fasting. You fast whole day. Do you lose any weight? You may lose maybe even 100, not even 100 grams. But the person is already tired. Next day if you see the person, he looks so tired. Why are you so tired? Oh, yesterday I was full fast. Yesterday I was fasting. So what he is missing? He is missing the taste. Correct? He is not missing the food. He is not missing the nutrition. He is not missing any weight. But just the taste he is missing. So he become tired. Just like a person without mobile phone. You just keep a person without mobile phone for one day. Just you put him inside a room. The room is completely white. Wherever he is just white. There is no place out, just white room. He will go mad. He will go crazy next day. He will become so tired. And next day, if you see him, he will be so tired. Why? This attachment for this rupa, sabda, sparisha, rupa, rasa, gandha, it is so much. So without this, a person goes crazy. So this is on the mental level. And then attachment for the material existence self, that you think that you are happy in this material world. Whatever suffering comes, you still think that I'm happy in this world. When Brahma was explaining about the different characters of different animals in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says monkey is this, and horse is like this, and elephants are like this, and this animal is like this. And when he was introducing about humans, these are the species which even if they suffer, they think we are still enjoying. So this is what human means. So this is the definition Lord Brahma gives for human beings. So this is how our human life is. Even though we suffer, we'll never come to an understanding that Matirna Krishna Parata Satova Mitopi Patyeta Grahabradhanam Atanta Gopi Vishadam Tamishram Puna Charvita Charvananam. Even if you chew the chewed again and again and again and again, even if there is no taste, but still people will stay there. Why? Because Grahabradhanam, because they have taken a vow that we will never get out of this world. Adanta gopihi vishadam tamishram. Like you take a vow that I will fast on Ekadasi. Similarly, these people have taken a vow, we will never leave this place. Like Dhritarashtra, he has taken a Dhrita, means very confident, very much, he is very fixed in Rashtra that I will never leave this place. Even if my 100 sons have died, even if I have to stay like a dog and eat from Bhima's hand, still I will stay in this house. Similarly, we are all staying in this body. Even if this body is giving you trouble left and right, up and down, still we want to stay in this body. And this is the amazing thing. Like when Yaksha was asked to Yudhishthira Maharaja, what is the most amazing thing in this material world? He says, even when the parrot is kept inside a cage which has 9 holes, this parrot doesn't want to go outside of the cage. Correct? In a similar way, this is a cage and the soul is kept inside. We have 9 holes. Simply, we don't want to go out of this holes. We want to stay in this. So this is the attachment in the material level. So these are the 3 problems which are the cause of all our anarthas, which are the cause of all our weakness of heart. So this is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So we should purify this sound existence. How this sound existence can be purified? By means of proper sound. That's what Srila Prabhupada said in the purport. By means of having purified sound, when it enters your heart, then it changes. Like Dhruva Maharaja, he had some other desire, but when he heard from Narada Rishi, his mind got changed. Mrigari, he had a different desire, he had a different dharma, but when he heard from Narada, his mind got changed. So that's why the spiritual sound has to be received from a proper authority. Just by hearing, you get moksha. So this hearing process is very important. Like a person, he's suffering in the street, he's just begging something and he's trying to survive himself. But when someone comes and says, you don't belong to this place, your father is a big richest person in the city and you should reach him. What happens? Just by hearing this message, he gets detachment. Correct? As soon as he hears this, I don't belong to this place, my father is there, I should reach my father. So just by hearing this message will make him happy, will make him detachment from whatever he is doing. So that's why the message of Bhagavad Gita, just by hearing about it, will give you liberation. So that's what Krishna also says. Just by hearing, you get completely happy. It's not that you have to even understand or you have to apply. Just by hearing, Tat Shrunu, Krishna always says Tat Shrunu. So in 2 places he says, Eshade Abhibhyate Sankye Buddhi Yogam Imam Shrunu. That is one place. And in 7th chapter he says again, what is it? Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjanmadashraya Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatagyashiti Tat Shrunu. Just by hear, just sit and hear. You don't have to do anything. Just hearing will purify you. This sound vibration is purifying you. So this sound vibration has so much potency. So this sound vibration can purify our material existence and also our spiritual existence. Not any sound vibration. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai sevan mukhehi jigvado swayam eva spuratyataha nama chintamani Krishna chaitanya rasa vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvam Nama Namina. So these two shlokas explains the quality of spiritual sound vibration. Spiritual sound vibration cannot be accessed by our material senses. It has to be accessed through spiritual senses, or it has to be accessed through those who have the spiritual senses. That's why it is said, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet. It will not happen. Grahyam Indriyai. How it will happen? Sevan Mukhehi Jigvado Swayam Eva Spuratyata. It happens automatically. How it happens automatically? Nothing happens automatically. Correct? That is our philosophy. Nothing comes automatically. Nothing comes by chance. So again, we should understand that by means of bhaktya sanjayate bhaktya. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in his Madhurya Kadambani. That from a devotee's heart, the bhakti is transformed from one heart to another heart. Similarly, the holy name has to be descended on our tongue. Otherwise, we may be chanting Hare Krishna, but we may be bored, we'll be sleeping, we will not have any taste. So when it is heard from pure devotee, or when it is chanted with proper consciousness, with proper mindset, without offenses, then the holy name descends in our tongue. Then the holy name descends in our Sankirtan also. So this we can experience all the time. When Prabhupada speaks, then it is different. We may be speaking the same thing again and again. The person won't change. Suddenly a person comes and says, "Oh Prabhuji, I have given up this." How possible? I heard Maharaj lecture, no, I changed. I'm saying this all the time to you for 10 years, doesn't happen, doesn't work, because our sound vibration is not pure. But when he hears from a pure sound vibration, then the change of heart happens. That's why we say, Lagu Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. When the pure devotees, when they talk, even if they talk for small while, it brings great effect. So this holy name, what we are chanting, when we chant with the association of pure devotees, and when we please them, if they are pleased with our attitude, when they are pleased with our service, when with their blessings, we will be able to chant our Hare Krishna mantra properly. So this is one part of sound vibration. Now in Vedas, there are two kinds of sound vibration. One thing is called Vedic mantra, that is Veda mantra, and other thing is called Moksha Mantra. So there are two kinds of mantra in Vedas. When you say Veda mantra, it starts with Om. Always it starts with some Bija mantra. Om Krishnaya Namaha, we say. So Om is a Bija mantra, and Krishna is a object, and Namaha shows the relationship. So this Bija mantra is just like a code word. It's like a code number. Like in India, if you want to dial from other country, you put +91, correct? Like in I don't know, in Pune, what is a code number? 0452, like that we say. So this Om is a Bija mantra, is like a STD code to whatever deity you want to bring, that code has to be given. So Aim, Bhim, there are many these Bija mantras are the Klim. So all these Bija mantras are there. When it starts with Bija mantra, we can understand it is a Vedic mantra. So Om, then Krishnaya. Krishnaya means it's in Chaturthi Vibhaga. That means it is for him. And Namaha. Namaha means you are deliberately denying your existence. You are saying, Namaha. It's not me, it is not for me, it is for you. So you are surrendering your ego. You are offering yourself to that person. So it's called Vedic mantra. But this Vedic mantra is a very formal, highly structured relationship. So you need to know many rules and regulations if you want to deal with this. Like if you want to attend a huge party or huge seminar, then you should know the etiquette. Like in England, if you want to go for a dinner with the Queen, then you should have many etiquettes. You should know how you should dress nicely, how you should walk, how you should talk, how you should take your spoon. First of all, who has to take the spoon? It is not that whenever it's served, then you say, and Mahaprasada Govind, and you start eating. Then you have to see whether the queen has started. There are so many etiquettes are given. So in the similar way, the Vedic mantras, if by chanting Vedic mantra, if you want to reach the Lord, then it is very, very difficult way to approach. It is very formal approach also. So it becomes very difficult for us. And especially in Kali Yuga, those who are above the four varnas, that is, we are all, we can say, at least myself, because we cannot even compare to the Vedic Shudras, because even in Vedic time, Shudras were very clean. That is the first quality. If you are not clean, how you can clean the things, correct? And you are very subordinate and we are very humble to your boss, but it doesn't happen to us. So those who are above this varnashram dharma, how they can get access to the Vedic mantras? So we should go for the second thing, that is called Moksha Mantra. So what is Moksha Mantra? Moksha Mantra is highly informal. It's like, hey Krishna, hey Govinda. It's like you calling Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna means, again, it's an informal way of calling. Hey Krishna, please help me. Like a person drowning in the ocean. He's drowning in the ocean and he has no way to out. And he suddenly sees a ship coming very far away. Then how he will call? He will not call, dear respected sir of England Air Force, please try to help me. No, he will say, help! He will just start shouting with whatever energy he has, correct? So in the similar way, this Vedic mantra, it's a very formal way and it is very difficult to approach Lord with this Vedic mantras. But these Moksha mantras are meant for everyone. So it is very easy. There is no any rules and it has very great effect. Immediately it shakes the person, correct? So when Draupadi called Krishna's name, Krishna was playing dice with Rukmini, and then suddenly he ran away. Rukmini saw what happened to Krishna. Then he came back. Then Rukmini asked him, why did you go and why did you come back? Somebody was calling. Then why did you go? Already it is done. How it is done? By mantra. My mantra has done. My name has delivered that problem. So mantra is even more powerful. Even Krishna, once he says in Mahabharata, at the end of Mahabharata, we can see Krishna has gone back to Vaikuntha Loka, and then he is saying, I'm not happy. Then devotees are asking, why are you not happy? I am indebted to one person. Who you are indebted to? I am indebted to Pandavas. Why? You have done so many things for them. You have been a messenger for them. You are a chariot driver. You have taken care of their even horses. You are a watchman. You did everything, whatever you can. So how you are indebted? Then Krishna says that Draupadi, when she was helpless, even though there were so many people around her, she called my name. So she called my name once and I cannot repay back for Draupadi. So even if I give myself, it is not enough to repay that one chanting of that mantra. So that is how Krishna is valuing the mantra. That is how Krishna is valuing his name. So if a devotee calls Krishna with full heartedly, even once, Sakrit eva prapannaya tavasmiti yajate abhayam sarvabhudebhyah dadami etat pratham mama. This is what Ramachandra says, that even if you call me once, even if you say, Rama, I belong to you, then I save that person from all kinds of trouble and I deliver him. This is my vrata. That's what Rama says in Ramayana. And also there is a beautiful verse in Varaha Purana. It says, even if you don't chant the Lord's name at the end of life, because sometime it happens that the devotee is very sick, he is not able to think of the Lord, or is not able to chant Lord's name. So what happens to those kind of person? Whether they should wait for Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, whether they should wait for Archarardi Marga or Dhumadi Marga? No. Then Lord says, Tatastam Riyamanam tu Kashtapashana Sannidam Aham Smarami Madbhaktam Nayami Paramam Gatim. He says, Tastam Riyamanam tu, one who is in the verge of death, Kashtapashana Kanditam. He's just like Kashtapashana, means he's just like a piece of wood or like iron. He cannot do anything. Then what happens? Aham Smarami Bhaktam. I think of my devotee. Nayami Param Gatim. I take him, I deliver him from this material world. So this is how Krishna takes care of devotees, one who has surrendered. Satatam, what's the shloka? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajadam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Because it is said, jnana and moksha. Shastra says by means of jnana you get moksha. So some people, some devotees may think, I don't have jnana, I don't have understanding of Upanishads, so how I will get moksha? Then Lord says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. One who worships me with love and affection, then what he does? Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give him knowledge personally, I take him back. So one knowledge that you have to acquire, the other kind of knowledge, Lord gives you that knowledge and he takes you back. Like a girl wants to get married. So at the end of her life, not at the end of her life, at the end of her marriage time, what happens? Father somehow or other he collects ornaments from here and there, and then he gives us a dowry and gives that girl for marriage. The similar way, Lord somehow or other, in the end of the life of a devotee, he gives him a real knowledge and then he takes him away from this material world. So this chanting of Lord's name is so powerful. It is very powerful even in karma, jnana, yoga also, because karmis cannot get their results without Lord's name. The yogis cannot achieve the results without Lord's name. The yajna cannot be fulfilled without Lord's name also. This we have seen in Bali Maharaja's pastime. When Lord has done everything, then he goes to Shukracharya. He says, the yajna was stopped in the middle, so it is very inauspicious. Do something to fulfill this yajna. Then Shukracharya says, Mantratas tantratas chidram desha kala arhavastunah sarvam kalodi nischidram anukirtanam tava anusankirtanam tava. Krishna, Lord, you are saying, but what is inauspicious? When your names are glorified, when your names are chanted, everything is perfect. So if you want to get perfection in any kind of karma, dhyana, yoga, the name has to be there. So according to the process, you get the different results. Not that karmis they get the same result, but they get whatever desires they want. So this is how the names or the sound vibration, the importance of sound vibration is given. And the good news is that we don't have to follow all the Vedic shabda. We just have to follow the moksha shabda, that is calling of Lord's name. So this is not some self manufactured process. This Hare Krishna mantra is mentioned in the Kalichantara Upanishad itself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti shotasakanam nam kalim kalmashanashanam nato parataropayo sarva vedeshu drishyate. After searching all the Vedas, there is no way to get out of this material world, especially in this Kali Yuga, except chanting this 16 syllable, 16 worded Hare Krishna mantra. So the class is not yet, we have some more things. So this is how the Hare Krishna mantra is given, and I have at least 20 shlokas from various prayers of various devotees in Bhagavatam. I'm not going to go through because it's already 9:10. So we'll just go through the pastime in Haridas Thakura. Only one small pastime in Haridas Thakura. So now we are in this we are in this Ajah Mila Upakyana, correct? So we will hear more on the glories of holy name. So what is Ajah Mila? Ajah means unborn, and Mila means one who is in touch, or one who is bewildered. Milan, we can say. Milan, no? Means union. So Ajah Mila means the unborn soul has come in contact with the prostitute. And who is that prostitute? The thought or the desire to enjoy away from the Lord is the prostitute. So Ajah Mila, who is Ajah Mila? We are all Ajah Milas. So we are all in this material world having a connection with prostitute, that is different desires other than Lord's desire. So this is the basic of all our problem. So when our desires are not in connection with the Lord, then all the problems arises. Like Krishna and Arjuna, we say if you take darshan of the Lord, then there is no problem. But Arjuna was suffering, Arjuna was trembling, Arjuna was crying. Even though he was standing nearby Krishna, even he was seeing Krishna, he was hearing Krishna, he was talking to Krishna, but still Arjuna was suffering. Why? He had only one problem. His desires are not in same line with the Krishna desire. He had his own desire. So after hearing Bhagavad Gita, what did he say? He didn't say, okay, Krishna, now I will follow Karma Yoga, now I will follow Jnana Yoga, now I will follow Bhakti Yoga. No, he didn't say. He just said only one thing. I don't know what is Karma, I don't know what is Jnana, I don't know what is Bhakti. I know only one thing. What is it? I should just follow you. Just hear. So this solves all the problem. Discipline, just hearing. Whatever Lord says, if we just follow, that is the highest dharma, and that is called bhakti, which pleases the Lord. So yes, Ajamila. So in the similar way, there is one more thing happened in Haridas Thakur life also. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Haridas Thakur one time, he went and then he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he asked, what is the process by which the Yavanas or those who are beyond the Vedic rules can get their liberation? Because at least those who are in the Svarnashrama Dharma, they have some path to get liberation. Correct? Lord has given them some path. So by following this path, they get liberation. So the Lord is called Mahakramaha. In Vishnu Sahasranama, the Lord is called Mahakramaha. Mahakramaha means one who has laid a beautiful step to reach him. He has built a beautiful staircase. Mahakramaha. Kramaha means path or steps. So Lord has a beautiful step. By this step, if you follow, then you can reach the Lord. So Lord has given various steps to reach us by means of following Vedic scripture. But what about those who are away, those who are beyond the Vedic rules and regulations? Then he gives a very beautiful understanding how the Yavanas can get out of this material bondage also. We know the famous shloka by Shukadeva Goswami, Kirata Hulinda Pulinda Pulkasha. In that shloka he says, Apashraya Ashrayaha. So if you take shelter of a devotee who has surrendered his life to the Lord, then by means of that surrender, Shuddhanti Tasmai Prabhavishnavaya Namaha, you get purified. So by following the footsteps of great acharyas and following their instructions can purify even the Yavanas. So here Haridas Thakur gives a very beautiful thing that Namera Akshara Sabhera Eta Swabhava Vyavahita Hailena Chade Apana Prabhava. He says, even if you don't have to chant the Lord's name fully, just the syllables itself will help you to get out of this world. You don't have to chant even Hari. You don't have to chant even Rama. You just chant this name in a destructive way. That's what he says. He says, Halam Kritam, Halam Ritam. You just say the word Halam Ritam. When you chant this word, Ha, the comes in the first, Halam, Ha. Then Ritam, Re comes. So if somebody is chanting Halam Ritam, then Krishna considers, oh, he has chanted Hari. Why? The Ha and Re, he combines and he says Hari. Then if somebody is chanting the name of Raja Mahishi, Raja Mahishi means queen. So Lord will take him as Rama because Raja Mahishi, Ra-ma. So Lord will consider he has chanted Lord's Rama's name. In the similar way, Yavanas, when they chant Harama, 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 Haram means condemning something. Haram, Haram, Haram. So the Haridas Thakur is saying, those Milechas, those Yavanas who are chanting the Lord's name in a condemning way, even they get purified by means of chanting this Lord's name. So it doesn't take much time to liberate a person. It just takes a fraction of a second to liberate a person. Like Prabhupada says, once one disciple was asking, Prabhupada, how many lifetime it takes a person to get liberation? And what's the Prabhupada answer? One moment. You have not heard Bhagavad Gita? What Bhagavad Gita says, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Ham Tvam Sarva Papepyo. He says, in 1 second you can do that. How is it possible? You have a dark room. It is dark for 20 years. And then you bring a light inside the room. How much time it takes to light the room? 1 moment, correct? You cannot argue. How is it possible? The room was dark for 20 years, so you should light the room for 20 years, then only it will get light. No, just 1 second is enough to get liberation. So this is very simple process, but we are making it more complicated. Like we say, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hantakara. Hey Krishna Adhikara, Dahi Maya Adhikara. We say Krishna is like a sun and Maya is like a darkness. Where there is a Krishna, there is no Maya. When there is Maya, there is no Krishna. It's very clear, right? Do you think any contradictory things in this shloka? Do you find anything contradictory here? We say darkness and light. This much we understand. Okay. Now this room is full of light. There is no darkness. The other room, it has only darkness. There is no light. This we can differentiate. Now can you differentiate like this for Krishna? Here there is no Krishna, only Maya, and here there is only Maya and there is only Krishna and there is no Maya. Can you make anything like that in this material world? Can you say any place where there is no Krishna and only Maya? You cannot say, because Krishna says, Maya dadamidam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina matsani sarva bhutani nachaham te shavastitah. I present everywhere. I am everywhere. So if Krishna is everywhere, then where is the question of Maya? If there is light everywhere, then where is the question of darkness? That means both light and darkness should coexist together. How light and darkness can coexist together? Like in this room, we have both light and darkness. How is it? Just close your eyes. Close your eyes. What do you see? Darkness. You start walking, you fall down. You fall down. You get fear. As soon as you close your eyes, you don't know who has taken your chanting bag, who has taken your Mahaprasad. You have this fear. So who will step on you? So as soon as you close your eyes, you get fear. That means you are in Maya. That is the first definition of being in this material. In this material, the first qualification is Bhaya. And who is a devotee? Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. Correct? So Bhayam to Abhiniveshatvam. Who gets Bhaya? When he doesn't see the Lord, when he doesn't see the Lord's hand, when he doesn't see the Lord's presence everywhere, when he doesn't see the Lord's hand everywhere, then he gets Bhaya. Their devotee has fearless. Why? Because he sees Lord everywhere. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. That's ultimate understanding. So why I am saying this, now we are closing our eyes and we are thinking, we are in Maya, we are suffering, we are in fear. You close your eyes and then the person is dreaming and then he's shouting, oh, tiger is coming. And then Jugal Kishore Prabhu comes, hey, hurry bol, get up. My God, there is no tiger. What tiger? Get up, go for Mangalarti. Correct? But in dream, you get all kinds of fear. Like I have the biggest fear. Even His Grace Gopi Pranadhara Prabhu has said, my biggest fear, I don't want to take birth in this material world. I have one fear. You know what that fear is? Exams. He said, I don't want to take birth in this material world. Just simply, I hate these exams. So if you take birth again, you have to go through LKG, then things won't be the same like us. It is very difficult. So sometimes we get this fearful dream that you have an exam. Especially I have this max exam. So you get this fear. You are fearful. You just start shouting. And then suddenly someone wakes you up in the morning. Hari bol, wake up. You wake up. My God, I am not in college. I don't have exam. I don't have to suffer anymore. All the thing what I have to do is just take bath, go for Mangalati and jump in Kirtan. Correct? But when you are in this fear, when you are in this dream, everything looks real. You are suffering, you are bhaya, you are lamenting, everything looks real. But how much time it takes for you to get out of this? Just one wake-up call, correct? So similarly, we are closing our eyes and we are shouting, we have a problem, we are suffering. But what happens? Guru comes, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya. That is the whole meaning. Guru comes and says, open your eyes. Just open your eyes. And then he brings this light. Our heart is full of darkness and just he brings the light. Jnana Anjana Chalakaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya. So that's what all the time Shastra says. Om Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Just don't stay in darkness. Come out. You will see the whole world. But simply we just don't want to get out of this. So how to bring him back to this place, that by means of chanting again and again our heart gets purified, then we are able to see ourselves and we are able to see the Lord also. So I have many shlokas which is glorifying this effect, that simply by chanting Lord's name in our heart, the heart gets purified and we can take darshan of the Lord and we can realize the soul also. And this is the essence of all the Vedic literature. And at last, in Bhagavatam, if you start in the beginning of Bhagavatam, Shaunaka Rishi starts with this. What's that shloka? Yen nama vivacha grunan tatasate vimuchyate yet yap pibedi swayam bhayam. Correct? So Shaunaka Rishi starts with this shloka. Then you can go through all Bhagavatam. Bhishma Deva prayers, he speaks about Harinam. Then Kunti Maharani prayers, he speaks about Harinam. Then Shukadeva Goswami, he glorifies Harinam. Then Parikshit Maharaja, he glorifies Harinam. Then again Shaunaka Rishi, one who doesn't chant the name properly. Then who doesn't chant the name properly? He says Swavishta Varaha Kamsata Purusha Pashu. In that he says Nama Gadagraha. One who is living like this Swavit Varaha Varshta Karaihi. They won't take up this Lord's chanting, Lord's holy name. And one who chants this name, still he cannot get this tear in his eyes, then his heart is steel framed. So in this way, then if you go, then the Kapila's instruction, it speaks about one who chants this holy name, he is immediately upgraded to the level of the person who has done all the yajnas and he has done all the Vedic literature. Then if you go furthermore, then we have Pratham Maharaj prayer, then Dhruva Maharaj, by chanting he got purified, he got even Lord's darshan. By means of this chanting, it is said that the demigods, they went and they asked the Lord, please do something for this Dhruva Maharaj, he is disturbing so much. Then Lord says, you're all very expert in disturbing tapasya, why don't you go and do something? Then the demigods say, we are not able to disturb his tapasya. Why? Then Lord says, I am doing tapasya inside him. Because he's so small, but he has this desire, he has this strong desire to reach me, but he has no ability. So what I am doing, I am sitting inside him, I am doing the tapasya and I am giving the result. Like a small boy, he wants to draw something, he doesn't know how to draw. So mother, what she does, she is drawing and she is correcting and she is giving good marks. Oh, you are 100 out of 100. So who has done everything? Mother has done. Simply the child takes the credit. In similar way, what we can do, we can have only the desire to reach the Lord, correct? So everything is done by the Lord. So more endeavor is done by the Lord. What we are endeavoring to reach the Lord is very less, but Lord is doing the endeavor, it is the greatest, correct? Like there is one nama in Vishnu Sahasranama, it says Lord has no liberation. Lord has no liberation. Why? We have liberation, correct? At least at some point of time, when you are away, when you are free from your karma, when you destroy your karma, you can get liberation. But Lord has no liberation. He has to come back again and again to this material. Ajayamanaha bahuda vijayate. He has to come back again and again. Why? Because Lord is not coming according to his karma. Lord is coming according to his karuna, correct? So Lord karuna doesn't get finishes. If his karuna get finishes, then he doesn't come back. But our coming back is depending on our karma, and Lord's coming back is depending on his karuna. So his karuna doesn't finish us, so Lord doesn't finish also. So Lord is doing so much endeavor to reclaim ourselves, to reclaim all this soul in this material world. So how he is doing that? By means of various process, and especially in this Kali Yuga, by means of chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. So I think we should stop here, right? Because it's going too much, and we have so much material. Like last time we said, every topic has oceanic way of understanding. Like Prabhupada once said, we can write a article each and every second. We can write an article. If Time magazine can release one article per day, then for spiritual things we can write a article each and every second. So we have so many things, but the first thing is first. That is realization. We can know so many things, but how much we apply, that is very important. So here I can see whatever you are being taught, that you are all practicing very nicely. You're all chanting even without this kind of inspiration. Today you have a plan to chant more rounds, and I can see during Ekadasis in this temple many devotees, they chant many extra rounds. So this is our whole moment, this Sankirtana, chanting together. This is the only way to get a success. Once I was talking to Bhakti Vigyana Goswami Maharaj. So I was asking so many philosophical questions, technical questions, this and that. Then Maharaj turned back. Maharaj was traveling and I was sitting behind. I was asking so many questions. So it's little, disturbing when somebody is talking from behind. It's not good etiquette, and it's very difficult to answer all the time. You have to turn back and answer also. So I was asking so many questions. Then at one point he said, everything is done with proper chanting. Just this much he stopped, and then he started chanting. I also started chanting, and all they were just chanting. So this is enough. If we can chant properly without any offenses, and offenseless chanting means again not concentrated chanting, not inattentive chanting. So if we can do this, so then we can rest assured that all the success will be there with us. Like Prabhupada has specified one small sutra from Vedanta Sutra. He says, Anavritti Shabdat. This is the end of Vedanta Sutra. Anavritti Shabdat. By means of Shabda, you get liberation. By means of proper chanting, we get liberation from this material world. So today is the day that our Namacharya has shown us that this material body is meant only for chanting the Lord's name. If we cannot able to chant Lord's name, then it is better for us to give up this body, because what is the use of keeping this body? It's just simply a burden. We can get a new body and we can start chanting in this new body. Anyway, if not this body, then we'll get another body and we can chant in this. So that is the mood of Haridas Thakur, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he really respected this mood and he really appreciated this mood, and he personally taken care. So Chaitanya when Haridas Thakur was, even when he was alluded by a prostitute, then he could conquer the prostitute by means of Harinama Sankirtana, correct? So one side is Hajamila and the other side is Haridas Thakur. So both had the similar kind of problem. So one got caught, the other got delivered by Harinama. Both got delivered by Harinama, but one got it very late and one he picked up from the early stage. So it's depend on us when we should get out of these clutches. We can wait for old age and for next life also. Otherwise, if you are intelligent, just in this one life itself, we can give up this material existence and we can go back to Godhead. So that's what Srila Prabhupada said. We have given our life, so many life for so many things. We have given to our wife, husband, family, my sense enjoyment. But at least this one lifetime, give it for Krishna, correct? So it's not a bad thing that give a chance at least this one lifetime for this Harinama, and there will be all success. So I thank you very much for patiently waiting all this thing, and I thank again Yugal Sham, no? So I all the time saying Yugal Kishore Prabhu, sorry. Yesterday I was saying to one devotee, Yugal Kishore Prabhu, he said, you know Yugal Kishore Prabhu also, he's very senior, he's in the sannyas list. Then okay, I don't know him. I know only Yugal Sham Prabhu. So I thank again Yugal Sham Prabhu, because yesterday night mercifully he called me and he said, tomorrow you have class, Prabhu. So I had to stay whole night to prepare somehow or other. I couldn't present anything, but it's a very good thing. He gave me a very good service. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I have to leave. I don't know when I will be able to come back, Krishna willing. So I pray to all of you that please give all your blessings so that I can chant without any offenses. I can follow 4 regulative principles properly. I can be a proper instrument in Srila Prabhupada's service, and I will be able to come back again and trouble you like this and get all your association. Shri Harinama Prabhu ki jai, Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.